Hello everyone, and welcome back to Occult Perspectives. If you are new to my channel, what I do on here is I cover different occult research. We cover Freemasonry, ceremonial magic, the Tree of Life, the Kabbalah. We even cover the Qliphoth on here, the Tree of Death. It's basically studying different aspects of spirituality, different spiritual tools, so that we can understand the symbolism, integrate it into our daily lives and our daily understanding. Learn a bit more on this channel about certain spiritual practices as well, if that is something you are wanting to learn more about. I cover the lesser ritual of the pentagram on this channel, and also get a little bit into invocation as well. Invocation is a very powerful arsenal that you can add to your repertoire as a practitioner, whatever your background may be. I pretty much am open to people of all backgrounds on this channel. I've had some shamans, I've had some more left-hand pathers. There's been people more geared towards the Golden Dawn system, so it's cool to see different people coming at it from different aspects, so we can put this cosmic piece together, put together the cosmic pieces of the grand scheme, if you will. I guess that's a decent way of putting it. So in this video, I wanted to cover the symbolism of the beehive. Particularly, it's used in Freemasonry. The beehive has many meanings. First and foremost, it's a symbol of industry. And this means industry in all of its aspects, not just the normal industry that it takes to run society. Yes, it does take those things, those components. Those are necessary, foundational building stones and blocks that society needs to run. But not just industry in that sense, but industry as in helping other people grow, helping people evolve, working together systematically, and the beehive really being an egregore. It's a symbol of a unit, a cohesive unit, or collective consciousness working together for the same objective, the same purpose. So even a lodge of Freemasons, working together as a lodge to do good for the community, that is an emblem of the beehive in and of itself. The beehive takes many forms, many different aspects. I just went on vacation to Michigan this past week, and we had an incident where we had the car break down. And the people who lived next door, they were really kind. They offered, any drinks if we needed water. We were able to use their restroom, just small things like that. And we had some close friends, family they were able to come out and help us, assist us. And, this is just it may not sound, very mystical or really even anything that big of a deal, but anytime that a community of people or a network comes together to aid others, whether that be to aid them in times of need, whether that be to come together to help in the evolutionary growth, as societies as a whole, we grow in our evolution, in our understanding, and our society should reflect that. So the beehive comes into play on all of these, different levels or aspects of life. And this whole theme of work or labor, or what was the word? Industry is the word that I used, the key word that I used before. All the different levels of creation. This is happening on the Tree of Life. This is even happening on the Tree of the Qliphoth. Different spheres, different realms, they have their purpose. They're all working together as one. It's the whole cohesive unit of both trees. It's all one tree. It's all truly one system, one path, cohesively working together. So on a grander scale, that is a more macrocosmic idea of the beehive. So as you see, there are different levels, there are different meanings, there are different interpretations to these symbols. And, you know, however wide your open-mindedness is and your ability to learn and research and be observant just in your everyday life, you're going to see that play out in a more meaningful manifestation, a more cosmic coincidence kind of way. You know, you start to see how these things all just work together for the good. You know, even in times where in life where you're like, man, this is so difficult, I don't understand how I'm ever going to get through this. I know we've all been through those places in our lives, those phases where we're just thinking, you know, how am I going to get out of this? How am I going to get through this? But somehow things always seem to shift just right in the universe in our favor. You know, and the more in alignment you are with natural law, the more that is going to be true for you. You know, it just works out that way. So this theme of labor and industry happens on all levels, and it's noted when it's discussed in the ritual, from the highest seraph in heaven to the lowest reptile of the dust. This lesson is basically inculcated or taught. And what that means is the whole spectrum of creation. You know, if we want to look at the seraphim are the highest, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, seraphim or seraphim, that's the highest order of angels. You know, if you read Dante's Paradiso and many other works, there's some really good YouTube videos, you know, well done ones on the seraphim. There's a few I've come across on YouTube, you know, discussing their lore. And it's the highest order of angels closest to God. They basically go around in a circle, and they have, I think, at least 6 wings. They cover their face, and they also cover their feet. And they're continuously singing praises to God, which we could see as the supreme source. It's the source of light. It's the source of all creation. At least that's how it's personified in Dante, the Epic of Dante. And they're blinded by the glory of the Lord. He's so grand, you know, to really see or behold source. You know, it's like we can't really in our human perceptions do that, or it would be too much to take on. And even these angels, the highest order of angels, they themselves could not look upon the face of God. So there's some deep symbolism in that. Just another aspect of the Beehive. And it also explains in there how, you know, we could just be very individualistic. We could be very primal. You know, we could be just super independent and very strong and able to get everything ourselves all the time whenever we need it. You know, be constantly just gratified in those ways. But these trials are actually set before us, and it's set up this way for our evolutionary growth and personal development, so that we actually have to come into contact with other aspects of source, which are really just other aspects of ourselves, in order to learn about those parts of ourselves, and we can all come together and work as a team and bring about beautiful manifestations on the earth. Even think about just something as simple as, it's always amazed me when I go to like indoor water parks, just the amount of architecture it takes to build. You know, you look up and it's really tall typically in those kinds of places, because there's water slides that go outside the building. Just the amount of teamwork that it takes, I can only imagine, you know, the building, the architecture in general, so the building of the edifice, the construction. Then just, you know, to make sure everything runs smoothly, make sure all the rides are, you know, safe. All of the different key elements that go into really running any kind of business or franchise or any kind of industry at all, whatever it is, you know, it doesn't matter what it is. You're going to want it to be of the highest quality, so you allow all the different parts of that egregore or of that hive mind, you know, that there's a reason it's called the hive mind. It's like the beehive, work together for the best, you know, so that the best outcome can be brought about for the whole. And the bee, of course, is a worker. You know, it's always working for the good of the colony. And then the drones or the wasps, or, you know, the harsher ones, could be analogous to the darker aspects of existence, where things are not always working, you know, in perfect synchronicity, harmony, and there's sometimes some discordance. And we see this in everyday life. There's some people who just put so much love and so much energy into actually building the empire of consciousness on this planet, learning themselves so that they can spread the seeds of knowledge. And then there are just others who just want nothing to do with it. That could be considered, the drones or the wasps, if you will, of the collective consciousness of the society. Those who are just really consciously unwilling to do anything to help or to build or to educate, our fellow man and grow. These are very important attributes to want to develop. And really, anyone who's genuinely seeking, knowledge, they should have the resources, that they need to expand their consciousness. And if we can all work towards this betterment, that's really the end goal of the symbolism of the beehive. I feel like maybe there were one or two other things I wanted to add to this, and then otherwise we can pretty much wrap it up. I've pretty much said everything I wanted to about this symbol. We could get into, I'm sure I could probably dig up even more things to research, but hopefully this gives you a foundational basis so that you can go and then research this subject and other subjects yourself. That's really the whole point of all of this. If you can get your hands on a copy of Albert Mackey's The Encyclopedia of Freemasonry, if not a physical copy, there's definitely some free ones online. There's going to be an excerpt for the beehive, and really all the esoteric symbols of Freemasonry are covered to some extent in that book. That's a really great book for research and for reference to refer back to. So I'm trying to just scan my brain really quick for the remaining information that I might have on the beehive, but I think that pretty much covers it. There's another part too where it says, if there's an opportunity that we can help out, we should help out. When we know that there's others around us who are, in need of aid, if it's not super inconvenient for us to be an aid to those people, we should help. Because it's important to remember that others are an aspect of ourselves, whether that's a reflection of a good quality or rather it's, we're not going to look at the shadow as a bad thing. It has things to teach us, it has things to show us, but often our shadows or repressed aspects of ourselves are reflected in front of us in the forms of people as well. So if we can learn to work with that, if we can learn to lean into that a little bit more and just know that we're okay with Source and that we are always working, we're laboring, we are industrious towards the grand work, of aligning ourselves with Ultimate Source, with that divine architect of the universe. That is really the fruition of the true meaning of the beehive, is brought to its completion. So, yeah, I think I'll keep this video pretty short and concise, and I think that pretty much wraps up that theme. So I did just want to do a quick video today. I'll have some more content coming really soon. Not exactly sure what I want to cover next. If there's anything in particular you guys would want me to cover, let me know. Also, those of you who reached out to me through email, I did receive your emails and I did send you emails back. Now, one of your, I can't remember which one of you it was, but I did end up finding it in my junk mail. So you may have to check your junk mail if you think maybe you didn't get a message back from me. So that is something I'm willing to do sometimes. If you regularly comment in the comment section and you're wanting to learn more, we can definitely get together and connect a little bit, because I'm always seeking to learn more from other people as much as I can, as much as I'm learning myself. So this is an exchange of ideas. So, alrighty everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you're subscribed. Give the video a thumbs up and ring the notification bell if you want to be notified of new videos. So, peace and love everyone, and until next time.